about impressing your friends. Don't care about fitting in the crowd. I'll say it one time and I'll say it loud. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't take dope or have affairs. Just call me square, 'cause I don't care. I won't do the things I don't believe in. I don't care about impressing your friends. Don't care about fitting in the crowd. I'll say it one time and I'll say it loud. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't take dope or have affairs. Just call me square, 'cause I don't care. Complain, complain, complain. You're always the same. You will never change. All you do is complain. You complain about the things I cook. You complain about the way I look. You complain about the clothes I wear. And you don't like my hair. You complain because I don't work. You say I'm a no-good jerk. And then I go to work and you go berserk. Complain, complain, complain. You're always the same. You will never change. All you do is complain.
Come ride a little train going down the track at the junction. Woo, woo! Petticoat Junction. There's old Uncle Joe moving kind of slow at the junction. Woo, woo! Petticoat Junction. I will return.
165. Also at the Bankhead Tunnel, east on Highway 98 from Government to I-10. It's a 5-minute drive. Got an accident on Blue Angel Parkway at Mobile Highway. Got an accident Highway 90 at Shadow Oak. Also an accident south on I-65 at the Delta Bridges. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
This week on Red Pilled America.
I definitely believe the moon landing was faked.
Conspiracy theories are everywhere. Why are they spreading? To find the answer, we tell the story of the man that made and lost a fortune on them, Alex Jones. Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Now, here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, RICH. That's RICH. Enter it now at newsradio710.com. The Uncle Henry Show, weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show on a primary voting day. Once again, here we are together, me and you, just the two of us here trying to figure out what is going on. What has gotten into people? People just seem possessed these days. Out of their minds. Maybe we can figure this out together. If you would like to join the Uncle Henry Show on the telephone, there are phone lines available for telephonic communication. The telephonic number is 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Today there was a Mobile City Council meeting, a beautifully brief meeting, under an hour in length. I'll give you some city council coverage here as we'll go forward on the Uncle Henry Show. And, of course, we got voting going on today. Would be curious to hear what it was like at your polling place? My polling place weren't that many people. I went and I didn't go during any before or after work or lunch hour time. I went in an off time, so there weren't a lot of people at my polling place. But I'd be interested in hearing how things went at yours. 251-479-2723. And of course, still time to vote in the primary. Voting open until 7 o'clock. We'll get into all of that. And who knows what else as the Uncle Henry Show continues here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Before I get into any of that other stuff, to me, the most interesting story of the day, even though there are many interesting stories involving the primary voting, not just in the state of Alabama, but in other states, to me still, the most interesting story of the day to me is that the NAACP today has come out with an effort this is all about the redistricting, as some states are doing congressional redistricting. You've noticed this in the state of Alabama, with Alabama having a new primary coming up in a few months with new congressional maps. The NAACP today launched the Out of Bounds campaign. And the Out of Bounds campaign is asking black athletes and their families and black fans and alumni to withhold their athletic and financial support from public universities in states that are involved in this congressional redistricting. So this is about asking black athletes and black fans and alumni to withhold support from the Alabama Crimson Tide, Roll Tide Roll, the Auburn Tigers, Ole Miss and Mississippi State, Texas A&M, the Florida Gators, Florida State Seminoles. They're asking these athletes. In fact, I'm on their website here. This is what the NAACP website says. They're urging black athletes and recruits to withhold commitments from Alabama and Auburn and Ole Miss and Mississippi State and University of Georgia and Florida State. They want them to withhold their commitments. They want them to ask the coaches and the athletic directors where their universities stand on voting rights. And they also want these black athletes and recruits to visit and seriously consider historic black colleges and universities instead. They also want the current college athletes to consider all available options under the transfer portal. And they want fans, donors, alumni to stop buying tickets and merchandise from all these places like the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Auburn Tigers. I find this is to me. Now I know there's a lot of other stories going on. This is very interesting. I can't wait to see. I have more suspense in my heart for what will happen with this. Because we're in a new era where you go to school can determine a lot of money. You may have noticed this. You may have noticed NIL money, name, image, likeness money. So you have pressure now. There's pressure from the NAACP on these athletes, asking them not to commit to these places like Auburn and Alabama and Georgia and Ole Miss, asking them not to commit to them and also to even look at the transfer portal. You got that pressure. Then on the other side of things, there is the NIL money. Will you get as much NIL money in one of these other places? This is going to be I can't wait to see this. I don't know how it's going to turn out. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. NIL money versus this pressure from the NAACP. Hello, caller.
Hey, good evening, Uncle Henry.
Cliff, you are live on the radio.
Uncle Henry, you can't tell me these people ain't backtrap crazy. They starting to say stuff that really it's amusing. I mean that iconic moron AOC talking about drive down south like she's a gang member or something and gonna come down here and do something.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, Cliff,
they don't,
it's been getting crazier and crazier.
They don't mind sounding like complete fools. The other day she was talking and she said that you can't earn $1 billion.
Right.
You can't earn $1 billion. Well, Obama said something like that a while back too. You know, when you say you didn't build that.
Right.
If you got a business, they don't mind saying some of this stupidest stuff a person could ever say, but they saying it to the people right along with this redistricting mess.
Yeah.
Because they know the people are either stupid or unenlightened themselves to even entertain this stuff they're talking about.
Well, Cliff, I'm up on the break. Is there something more you'd like to?
Blessed day.
Well, you too. Thank you, Cliff, for your phone call. All right, as we move forward, I'll have, if you want to call, you can. I've also got coverage of the city council meeting and more on the Uncle Henry Show after the break.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
Watch for an accident, Old Pascagoula Road at Carroll Plantation Road. Also an accident on the Cochrane Causeway, just north of the Bankhead Tunnel. An accident with entrapment, Government Street at Hamilton. Also an accident with road blockage, South Navy Boulevard at East Winthrop Avenue. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
This week on Red Pilled America.
I definitely believe the moon landing was faked.
Conspiracy theories are everywhere. Why are they spreading? To find the answer, we tell the story of the man that made and lost a fortune on them, Alex Jones. Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic.
YouTube viewers, if there is any. Hello to you. I'm about to activate the YouTube on my desktop. To see what is going on. Oh, and there's a tiny number of people looking in. Hello to, let's see, the Love Freak 69. Hello to you. Hello to Bama Big Man. 69-year-old Chris of West Loxley, Sharon of Fairhope, Richard Harvey. And anyone watching and not commenting, whatever. God bless you. Today I'm wearing my bicentennial tie. This has 1976 and 1776 on it. It's a classic bicentennial tie. Yo to KP of SureButter.com. You know, I've got a hippie slap T-shirt that SureButter.com created many years ago. It's in mint condition, but I'm now worried about wearing it out. I'm worried about wearing it into public. I'm worried that wearing a hippie slap T-shirt will cause some type of ruckus in our current society. I am. I don't know what the response would be among the young and stupid if they saw me walking around with a Hippie Slap T-shirt. But it's in mint condition. I wear my Bear Bryant head T-shirt once a week, and I think I've worn it once a week since it was made. It's one of them T-shirts that looks better the older it gets. Now let's see. I'm going to go back on the radio for more of this junk, more of this Uncle Henry Show junk. See, going on in 1 minute, let me see if I can find, there was a weird news story today. There's a new cannabis vape pen that allows you to they claim that you earn Bitcoin while you're vaping their cannabis in the vape pen. That sounds nefarious. That sounds like just designed to destroy the minds of people. Earning Bitcoin with a vape pen.
This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, News Radio 710 WNTM. 5:20. We got news headlines coming up in 10 minutes. Coverage of the Mobile City Council. Not a lot of coverage, but there'll be some coverage at today's council meeting. Hello, caller.
Hey, Uncle Henry, how you doing?
Snake Trapper, you're live on the radio.
Hey, Uncle Henry, I have been combing through some of these UFO files, man, and you know what I have discovered?
Now wait, before you tell me that, are you setting me up for something? Is this true?
No, sir.
Have you
No,
really
yes,
been looking at these files?
I have been, Uncle Henry, and been listening to a lot of whistleblower testimony.
All right, well, please tell me what you've heard.
Uncle Henry, I have heard that they are claiming that there are 4 different types of species that is visiting our planet or is already here, and they just don't know. Anyway, but the 4 types, Uncle Henry, they got your grays, which is your typical Roswell, big-headed, big-eyed, small-bodied gray. Okay, and then you got the sextron, Uncle Henry, which is a insect-type creature that looks like a praying mantis that walks on 2 legs. And then you got the reptilians, which is basically looks like a lizard-type reptile that also walks on 2 legs. And then you got what's called the Nordics, Uncle Henry, and this appears to be a 7-foot albino-looking human. They're probably more human-looking than anything. But do you know what conclusion I have come to, Uncle Henry?
What conclusion have you come to?
I believe that, given the chance, I would eat 2 of the 4 species and probably a 3rd one.
So your first question was, what do they taste like? If there are aliens, what do they taste like?
Well, you know, I've been known to eat freeze-dried crickets, and there are many different types of grubs I have tried. And everybody that knows me knows I like reptiles. And now the one in question, definitely not the Nordics, you know, because they look human to me, just giant albino human. But now the Greys are the ones that are in question, Uncle Henry. I don't know about them.
Yeah. Look, I'm glad you brought this up because I've seen some of this stuff, and the idea, if you're going to try to convince me that there's aliens, then why would they look anything like anything we've ever seen before? I mean, why would they have arms and legs to begin with? Why we shouldn't be able to even recognize what they are if they're really an alien.
I agree with you, Uncle Henry, and also too, there's another type that they're calling a interdimensional one. Now that's the scary one, Uncle Henry, because I believe that's possible that may be some type of demon type. But man, that's the one that I think to worry about, the interdimensional one. And I believe that's one that they would probably that's getting blamed for the skinwalkers and the shapeshifters and stuff like that. But man, me and Buford both has been on them reptilians for a while. You know, I mean, we both speak of the lizard overlords. So
well, I've heard a lot of I've had people telling me for years that they suspected that people in their life were reptilian aliens. They couldn't prove it, but they suspected it.
Well, they're supposed to have actual beings of them four types, Uncle Henry, from crash sites since you know, the early 30s. So they need to come out and go ahead and let the American people know exactly what's going on. I tend to believe that they try to steer you to a certain narrative. But, man, I'm telling you, as long as you trust in the Lord, there's none that can harm you. But like I said, given the chances, I will eat 2 of them 4 species.
Snake Trapper, thank you so much for coming out and telling us which of these you would eat. And maybe one day you'll be able to taste one.
Yes, sir. I hope I can taste them before they taste me.
Exactly.
You have a good day, my buddy.
Thank you very much, Snake Trapper, for your phone call. Look, I don't know much about anything, as you're aware. If you're a listener, you know that there's not a lot to know about, except potholes. But if they're going through all this trouble, if the government is going through all this trouble to release this stuff slowly, there has to be an advantage to there's some politicians somewhere that it is to their advantage. Somehow. It is somehow to the advantage of some politician up in Washington, D.C. That's the one thing. I want to figure out who is going to profit off of this. What is to be gained from all this ridiculousness? Somebody's either going to make money off of this. I don't know what it is, but a politician is going to gain somehow from all of this alleged disclosure. Hello, caller.
Hi.
Hey, you are live on the radio.
Hey, Snake Trapper's right. Those aliens are scary.
Well, if they're real, they could be.
Yeah, he named 4 types, including the Greys, but he left one out.
What did he leave out?
They're called the Browns, and they come from Uranus.
Hey, stop that, you freak! Look, have we gotten to the point that now people are so dadgum stupid that you had an obvious adult calling into this show using something from middle school? That was like a 4th grader. Have we gotten that dadgum dumb? Is that what they're putting in the vape juice that people are vaping all the time? Is stuff that kills your brain cells so that you think, oh, let's make a joke about the planet Uranus. Let's make a joke about the planet Uranus and get up on that talk show. That's what I want investigated. I don't care about UFOs. What has caused the lowering of the IQ of the American public? That people are that dumb now. They want to call the talk show with a joke from middle school. Then they're gonna turn off the Uncle Henry show and find out where is Honey Boo Boo on TV. There's got to be a Honey Boo Boo rerun or something like this. What's going on? What have they put in our food? Is that what they put in Oreos? Is that what they put in Twinkies? In all the vapes? Is stuff that kills your brain cells even faster than the illegal drugs? So that we're all just dumb. All right, I apologize for that. But I appreciate the legitimate call from Snake Trapper about the aliens. And I'm still trying to figure out. Look, I'll believe it if they want to say there's 4 species. All right. Do you have samples from the bodies of the species that you can actually let scientists from around the world study these tissue samples and tell us what they are? And why would life on another planet slightly resemble us and have 2 legs and 2 arms? Why? Did God make every planet look like human beings to make it easier for us to have things like Star Trek movies? I mean, why? It doesn't make any sense.
Time saver traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design.com traffic center.
Watch for an accident north 9th near Langley Avenue. There's also an accident on Highway 90 at Shadow Oak Drive. Also an accident just in Government Street at Jackson Street. And an accident Old Pascagoula Road at Carroll Plantation Road. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Taking a Walk Podcast.
I'm Buzz Knight, the host of the Taking a Walk podcast, and join me for an upcoming episode with country music legend Clint Black. That's Clint Black on Taking a Walk on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast.
Is there a podcast for sitting down? I would like the sitting down podcast.
And at pound 250.
Or the laying down podcast.
Acadian Window.
Maybe just reclining podcast.
Election day in Alabama. Besides the local races, all statewide constitutional officers are on the ballot, including governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general, along with 1 U.S. Senate seat. Statewide amendments 1 and 2 are also up for a vote. Now you can view candidate profiles and sample ballots for both parties in all 67 counties online, and check your registration status and polling place on the Secretary of State's website. Polls are open until 7 p.m., and you'll need a valid photo ID to vote. The primary runoff is June 16th. Special primaries in congressional districts 1, 2, 6, and 7 are August 11th with no runoff, and the general election is November 3rd. The Mobile County Sheriff's Office says a woman hit by an Amtrak train at Irvington has died. Deputies say she was sitting on the tracks near Irvington Biola Battery Highway and Highway 90 and tried to get up when she saw the train coming. She was taken to a hospital and later died. In Citronelle, the community is getting ready to say goodbye to a fallen officer. 26-year-old Officer Dylan Chase Owen was killed in a crash while on duty last Thursday near Mobile Street and Laird Drive. Aaliyah is investigating how the wreck happened. The mayor says it is the first time the city has lost an officer on the job. Visitation for Officer Owen is Thursday from 11 until 1 at Restoration Church, with a funeral service at 1. A community blood drive in his honor will be Friday at the Citronelle Marketplace from 10 until 5. I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News on this iHeartRadio station.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. The conflict between the U.S. and Iran passing the 80-day mark. Gas prices surging as travel through the Strait of Hormuz remains limited. Senator Ron Johnson on Fox Business says,
I want President Trump to finish the job in Iran. Then gas prices will come down dramatically, and we will have an entirely new global geopolitics.
Police say 3 people dead after 2 teenage suspects opened fire outside the Islamic Center of San Diego yesterday. They're investigating the incident as a hate crime. The 2 alleged shooters are dead from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. San Diego Police Chief Scott Wall tells reporters these guns belong to the suspects' parents.
Exactly how they came into they were able to obtain them is still under investigation.
A security guard died after exchanging gunfire with the shooters. Police say that hate speech was written on one of the weapons. America is listening to Fox News.
Get your All right, YouTube viewers. Going to be back on the radio here in about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Let me see if there's anybody watching. And there's a small number. Bama Big Man wants to be my call screener. Transfer the number. Look. The technology, who knows? I mean, this show, I may take this show on the road. And there won't be callers. There'll just be people walking down the street. Let's see. I told you I was going to look for weird news, and I did find a story. There was a group of high school students at a charity event in Maine last week. They have the Metamac Valley High School Empty Bowl Supper, a community event designed to raise money and support for the hungry. And they have a big dinner. And someone accidentally grabbed a science experiment and served it as food at the dinner. It was a big dish full of dirt. And people were served dirt, and some people ate dirt. There were complaints, by the way. Nobody got sick, but they served dirt to people at the charity dinner.
710 WNTM.
This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM. 5:35. Primary election voting day. If you would like to determine who the nominees are in the Republican Party or the Democrat Party, you should have already done voted, but you still have time. Polls open until 7 o'clock, and the people that work the polls love to see you there. Most of the time. Now, today was also a Mobile City Council meeting. And I've got a little bit of coverage from the council meeting, not a lot. The meeting was about 45 minutes long, so congratulations on that. It was only about 45 minutes long, and the microphone was not working for the YouTube for the first several minutes of the meeting, so I missed some of young Mayor Spiro's remarks. But I did catch this. Here is one of the council members. We talked about how last week or the week before, the Mobile City Council passed the biggest road paving initiative in the history of the city of Mobile, but it did not include District 6. Well, the council person for District 6 wanted to talk about road paving in District 6. Road paving is one of my favorite topics, and so the council person for District 6,
Jock Wood.
He talked about his district getting their own specific paving project. So if you live out in West Mobile in District 6, here's what Jock had to say today.
One thing I also wanted to bring up, even though we're not voting on it this week, ordinances or CIP being introduced is a contract for repaving in District 6 and a part of Knollwood as well, which is in District 4. And if I didn't mention that, Councilmember Reynolds would be mad. But it's the largest repaving contract that District 6 has seen.
All right, largest paving ever seen in District 6.
Part of this contract goes into the newly annexed area.
All right, so if you are newly annexed into the city, some of your roads are going to get paved.
And it'll really repave neighborhoods for the first time. There's a lot of streets out there in the newly annexed areas that are in desperate need of some love. So this will actually take a big swipe out of our repaving projects across the district.
All right, very good. So more paving on the way for the city of Mobile, which is a wonderful thing for all of us. And the people that voted to join the city of Mobile, some of their neighborhoods, some of their streets are going to get some repaving done. So love hearing that. Now, a little bit more, just a little bit more from
Josh Wood.
Josh had this to say about today being election day.
Today's election day. I want to encourage you all go vote, but also do want to just remind everybody that today's election day and tomorrow's not election day. And it's very important, no matter who your candidate is that you, and what they're running for, that you come together and not continue to bicker and fight. I kind of feel that this election cycle has kind of gone off the rails a little bit, and there's a lot of things that were said about some really good people on both sides of a campaign, and I kind of think it went a little too far. Maybe it's some outside or out-of-state things that are playing in it, but I do want to remind everybody it's important that you get out and vote, but also, too, the campaign's over tomorrow, and it's important that we come back together, regardless of who our candidate is, and really be a unified community versus continuing to battle each other. With that, that's it for me.
All right. So wanting us to come together after the vote. That was these Mobile City Councilmen for District 6.
Josh Wood.
All right, let's see. What else can we get into here on the Uncle Henry Show? 251-479-2723, the telephone number. It is election day, as we've talked about, people voting in the primary. And I did get a voicemail about voting in West Loxley, Alabama.
Roll Tide, huh? Oh, beautiful day out here on the front porch, Uncle. 12:14 p.m. on Tuesday, Election Day. Just returned, about 30 minutes or so ago from voting at the Silver Hill location.
Oh, so you vote in Silver Hill. I guess that would be very West Loxley.
Prior to that, I had gone to Robertsdale Elementary. Sarita had a little function going on from 10 until about 10:30, so I attended that, and I thought, I didn't get up and go up there. I was up at 7 o'clock this morning. I was up for that, actually about 6:20. But I didn't go up to the voting place when it opened this morning because I figured, well, there'll be a pretty big crowd up there. And I'm sure it was. I didn't think to ask anybody. But when I got up there, it was, what was it? It was almost, it was about 11:15. And it was a pretty good-sized crowd then.
All right, now, I like to hear that. A pretty good-sized crowd voting there in Silver Hill, Alabama, one of the faster-growing communities in Baldwin County. I think last week there were some new census numbers out. Did you see this story last week where I think Foley is like the 14th fastest-growing city in the United States? Foley? And of course, lots of other municipalities in Baldwin County growing real fast, too, including Silver Hill.
Well, it was about 11:15. And it was a pretty good-sized crowd then. Mostly elderly folks, more elderly than myself.
Wow. Okay, so 69-year-old Chris, and there were people older than him. That's one of the great things. I've talked about it for years. One of the great things about voting is that you're often going to be with people who are older than you.
Well, I'm considered elderly now, I suppose, since I'm past retirement age and all that good stuff. No problem, no complaints. But it was a real good crowd there. And I'm kind of curious as to what the turnout's going to be like the rest of the day. If that's any indication, I would imagine with the turnout that it was around 11 a.m., that place is going to have a long line out the front door. Anyhow, hope you got yours took care of, and we'll be looking at you and listening to you later there, buddy. You have a good one.
Thank you very much, and you take it easy. 69-year-old Chris of West Loxley. The voicemail number, if you'd rather call in at your convenience, 251-216-1976. That's 251-216-1976. 216-1976 to leave a message for the Uncle Henry Show. And I think there was a quick follow-up on the topic of voting.
Roll Tide, Uncle, something else I forgot to mention previously about the voting process today. I saw something that I'm unsure if I've seen this before. I'm not going to call out the person's name, but it was a feller. His name was on 2 different offices that he was running for. I'm just wondering if it was maybe a typo or if that's legal, if you can do that. I'm not familiar with that, so your input on that would be very helpful.
All right, well, 69-year-old Chris, I have not looked at a ballot for where you voted, so I guess I'll take a look. I've not heard of that either, so I don't think I've seen somebody's name on a ballot like this more than once. So I'll have to take a look and see what you're talking about. Take a look at the sample ballot, which I can find online here. All right, but thank you again for your report from going and voting, and it is encouraging to hear that there is turnout. It's hard to imagine what the turnout's going to be when you have such the advertising more aggressive than usual this go round, with a lot of very negative TV ads and all the mailers. And you don't know if that drives turnout or turns people off. All right, back with more. I got more Uncle Henry Show coming up after the news break. And after this coming up, traffic, weather, and words from our sponsors.
And an accident has been cleared southbound on I-65 at the Delta Bridges. That was around milepost 27. And we've got an accident with injury and road blockage north 9th at Langley Avenue. Also watch for an accident with road blockage Highway 90 at Shadow Oak Drive in Milton. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Paquet.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's.
YouTube viewers, thank you for looking. Going to be back on the radio here in just a few minutes. Let me take a quick look at the YouTube. And we got a tiny number of people watching. Ben Griffin. Fan of Music 1971. Hello to you. Well, 69-year-old Chris, I don't know, was Fermo running for an office and then also running for an executive committee spot? Because that might be it. Hey, happy birthday! Belated birthday, Norman. Norman Richardson, happy belated birthday to you. Now, my company is blocking me from going to the Alabama Secretary of State website, saying that my connection is not private. It let me go there yesterday. All right, well, I'm being blocked now. My company blocking me. 79 years old. Happy 79th birthday, Norman Richardson. 79. Next May, you're going to have a big birthday. I guess they're all big when you're 79. All right, let me see. What can I tell you while I'm waiting to go back on the radio? I told you about the people that ate dirt. Let's see, there was a flight from China to Malaysia. And it was a nighttime flight. And they turned the lights down. But according to reports, a man asked a group of women seated on the plane in front of him to quiet down so he could get some sleep. And they did not quiet down, and that resulted in a heated exchange that involved screaming, insults, and a few punches from one of the women. So they had to arrest 3 people when they landed in Malaysia. That seems, I would not want to get into a fight on a plane ever, especially going from China to Malaysia. Because you never know. In Malaysia, got in a fight on a plane? That's the death penalty. You just never know. Oh, we're going to have to chop your head off. We don't allow fighting on planes in Malaysia. You just never know.
WNTM, an iHeartRadio station.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. News headlines are coming up. After that, there's more Uncle Henry Show. Telephone number 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. You can still vote. Primary voting going on until 7 o'clock. Now, on this date in history, 49 years ago today, a great work of art unveiled to the world. 49 years ago today, 49 years ago today, they released the movie Smokey and the Bandit. Yes, indeed. 49 years old. I hope I make it to next year so that I can celebrate the 50th anniversary of Smokey and the Bandit. Great film released in 1977. Of course, Burt Reynolds, outstanding. Jerry Reed, underrated as both an actor and I think Jerry Reed was just generally underrated in everything he did. Deserved more respect. But really, what made the movie so magnificent was Jackie Gleason as a Southern sheriff. What a magnificent work of art, Smokey and the Bandit. Now, it does have cuss words in it, which I really don't appreciate in a film. That's why I did enjoy it. There were years where you could see Smokey and the Bandit on television, and they would replace the cuss words. And I've talked about this before. I wish there were more TV channels these days or ways to stream movies now that we have to stream these dadgum things. I wish there were a way to stream cleaned up movies where they'd take the nakedness out of the movies and they would also take the cuss words out of the movies, because there's some great movies out there that just are spoiled by cuss words. And if you could just change it to almost anything else. See, I was blessed. I don't know how you were raised. I was blessed that I never heard my parents ever say a cuss word when I was growing up. I never did. Never any of them. None of them. Not even the ones that they say on TV now. Never heard my parents say a cuss word. They used euphemisms for the cuss words. I can remember my father getting very angry once and saying the phrase "son of a gun." And the way he said it, it was as blistering as if it were the real cuss word phrase. I can remember the word, instead of saying the S word, which is nasty, I can remember hearing the word foot. I know that sounds silly, but I can remember the word foot being yelled out with anger and viciousness as if it were the real cuss word. You telling me things are better now with people cussing? Getting R-rated stuff on your television at 7 o'clock at night? You think it's better off now? You think that's led to better customer service? So, yeah, I would love to find a version of Smokey and the Bandit from one of those over-the-air TV stations, like TBS would run these type movies and cut the cuss words out of them. I would love to be able to find that. And eventually, one day, I'm hoping that there will be a streaming service, and they can call it Prude TV. Call it whatever you want. You can call it Prude TV. I'd pay for that. In fact, it might be really amazing to see a Quentin Tarantino movie that didn't have cuss words in it. Or racial slurs. I'd like to have the racial slurs taken out of there too. I don't want to hear that either. Anyway, 49th anniversary of Smokey and the Bandit. A wonder, and would have been the number one movie. It would have been the number one movie of 1977 if it weren't for that horribly destructive Star Wars that came out the same year and caught up everybody's imagination with their little robots. There's more to come. I'm contractually obligated to remain at the microphone, so there will be more show after the news break. Uncle Henry Show available as a podcast. Listen to old episodes on the iHeartRadio app.
This is Paul Perry with
YouTube viewers, thank you for watching. Turning the camera off. I will be back tomorrow at the regular time. Have a pleasant evening and a pleasant tomorrow.
Bad shape. Even more striking, 70% say it feels like the economy is getting worse. That's up 15 points compared to a year ago and ties a record high. More Republicans than Democrats say things are improving, but even among Republicans, more than half say the national economy, as well as their own finances, are bad. Overall, twice as many voters say the administration's policies are hurting rather than helping the economy. Meanwhile, everyday costs continue to sting. Majority say groceries, gas, healthcare, and housing costs are major problems for their family, with concern about gas prices nearly doubling since last